Oh, what up? Just clicked on and look at all the people in the chat already. What's up? Hey, man, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, let's see who's up in here, man. First of all, Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. MX Tips. We got Monroe. We got Tommy Shea. We got all the boys back. Brian. Big Feist. What up? Eric Dean. Nico. Khalifa? Do I say that right? Hope I got that right. Well, sweet Sky. What up? What up? Well, hey, thank you all again for being here. Give us a thumbs up. Make sure you guys can hear me, because it's been probably 2 months since we've done this. It's been 2 months. So if you guys can hear me, I told Mel to jump on real quick and do a check too, just to make sure we are going. So Mel's hanging. She ain't in the chat, but she's here. All right. Well, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Big bang. The beer's looking patchy. I know it comes in light here, but this is only like a week and a half, dude. My voice is echoey. Oh, probably because I'm up on the mic a little too much. Let me make sure we got the right mic on. Samson mic. Sorry, I had the wrong mic on.
No.
That's not it?
Wait, Samson.
Yeah, I had it on HD. So that's the right one, right?
Yeah.
All right, sorry. I had the wrong mic on. That should be better. So
Where
see?
did you have it before?
Thanks, Brian.
Ask him if it's new.
Is it better now? I had it on HD webcam.
Oh, that was probably awful.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you guys. Appreciate it, Brian. Hey, I'm rusty, dude. It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Oh, put it on mute so we don't hear it clicks.
All right, see? Got to get Mel in here.
Mixed Tips. He's like, I'd rather have him call me MX Tips because you get his name wrong every time.
Mixed tips.
No, he likes MX Tips since you mess it up every time.
Why? That's what it says. Mixed tips.
But you always say MX Tips.
Do I?
Every time.
MX tip. Do I really say that? I don't even catch myself. Where the heck's the mute button? Did it mute?
Yeah, it's muted now.
All right. Well, Mixed Tips, we love you, brother. Appreciate you being here. Oh, wait. No, you rather me call you MX Tips. All right, MX Tips. Wait, I'd rather him call me MX Tips. What it says. But why does your name say Mixed Tips if it's MX Tips?
It's his name, you just mess it up.
I don't know how I mess it up. Is what it says. Hey, we love everybody that's here. Appreciate this is the crew, because I recognize everybody, and we got Jason in here as well. I don't mess up your last name too, but hey, Jason S, my man. Appreciate everybody being in here. So hey, anybody new in the chat? My name is Ronnie Faisst. We are coming to you live from Kansas, Leawood, Kansas, right in the heart of America. And we've been on our winter break, but we're going to do this from now on. We're back. 7 p.m. Central Time, Monday nights. Coming here, it's Supercross season just kicked off last week. We're going to be talking about Supercross. Then we'll go into the outdoor series, talk about outdoor series. And try to be, just have some moto chat, have some moto talk about how the races are going, and try to answer questions. We always open up at the end for live Q&A, and try to be helpful, try to give some feedback, and just share. We got a great community. If you're brand new here, this community's, how long we've been doing this, dude? We went solid for a year, all last year. So is it safe to say that we're stepping into our second full year, season, whatever you want to say? Yeah, happy birthday. So Brian's saying happy birthday. This is the first Moto Monday of the year. True that. But like I was saying, I think we've been doing this for, this will be our second full year, maybe even longer. But this is our crew. So quick, just a little recap of what we got going on for tonight. Going to give you guys just a quick little update, what I've been up to, what's going down. Let's see, talk about FromX for a second, and then we'll jump in, talk about the craziness of A1 round one. And then we'll open up here at the end and jump in, do some live Q&As as well. So just a quick update. Because it's, like I said, we've been on our little winter break. We took off, I think, right before Thanksgiving. We took off to Colorado Springs and spent Thanksgiving out there with Mel's family. So, honestly, to be honest with you, in the last, 2 months, that's how long it's been. I honestly been hanging out with family and hunting is about it. We went out to Colorado Springs, spent time with Mel's dad, her mom, her brother, which I'm so blessed to have a cool what do you, if I want to say father-in-law, but in-laws in general, because I know not everybody gets blessed with that, and sometimes in-laws bump heads. But I got cool in-laws, man. My father-in-law loves hunting and fishing. Mel's brother's super cool. Her mom's super sweet, and so I love going out to Colorado Springs. A beautiful. If you guys been out to Colorado, you know it's beautiful out there. So going out there, we get out there about once, twice a year. So always a good time to see her family, and enjoyed that. And then I bounced right out of that, went back to Jersey, and got to link up with Big Feist and my our cousin Gary and our family, and did some hunting back there, which was fun, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, I love hunting, love my pops, love my family, and I don't get back to Jersey as much as I should. And just to get back there and it always feels like home. I was telling, like, it's weird the things that I enjoy these days. I'm sitting in the woods hunting behind, so basically I was hunting behind our cousin Gary's mom's house, and I'm not even that far from the houses, but I'm sitting back there and I'm like, and I'm just smelling like it's in the oaks. I don't know if you guys are following all the stories, but I was posting I hunted 3 different places. Me and Big Fight sat in a box one night. I hunted in the Oaks another night, hunted in the Pines another night. But the Oaks, it reminded me of growing up on Spruce Street where I grew up with Big Feist's house, because we lived in the woods and it was covered with oak trees, and you could just smell the wet leaves. I'm like sitting there smelling these wet leaves, and I enjoy that stuff. It's so funny. The older I get, the more I enjoy hunting, and it's the little things. The little, like, think about how weird that is. Like a smell that can bring you all the way back 40 years to your childhood, that you're like, dude, I remember the yard smelling like this. So pretty cool. I just really enjoyed being back there. We didn't get nothing. It was one of those off weeks. We sat all week. Didn't really get anything. And I think the very next week I flew home back here to Kansas, and Gary ended up going hunting muzzleloader and got a pretty nice buck. And he didn't see it. I probably saw more than anybody. He didn't see anything. And then, that's how hunting goes. 2 days later, big 9-pointer walks out and he got one. So that was cool. And then all through December, we had actually Big Feist came out here. My sister came out here, my niece, my sister's fiance. And that was the first time we had family here, that family here. First time we had Christmas here at my house. So that was really cool. Get the family out here and just kind of spend time with my sister. And so, like I said, and then I've been hunting the Missouri side nonstop. And this is the last week of the hunt on Missouri. So I was actually supposed to call tomorrow, and I got a text like an hour ago, and he's like, dude, I can't go tomorrow. I got to watch the kids. So that got scratched. So I said, hey, maybe Wednesday. But I'm going to try to sneak out like 2 more times on the Missouri side and get some hunting in, because it's almost over. And then it'll be February, and we'll be freezing our butts off. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to. And other than me and Mel are jumping over to FromX, me and Mel has still been looking at tons of property, looking at land. We're trying to find a home for FromX, a spot to build our own facility. So as far as FromX goes, the only thing that's going to change this year is man, we're just like, Lord, hook us up. We need a miracle, because it's hard to find a good piece of property these days. So we're just praying it up and hoping we find one, and then we can get our track built. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing it the way I've always been doing it. I'm actually going to try to make a home. So basically, last year I used Grain Valley and I've used the Baser track and stuff, and I used Hillsdale. I'm actually going to reach out to the owner of Hillsdale and see if I can actually just make that my spot. Things are changing with some of the tracks around here, and might not have access to all of them anymore. So I'm going to see if I can kind of just lock that place in, and that'll be the spot for FromX. So, and just have all my classes at one spot. And going to start trying to do more like last year we had the small group classes, and then I didn't never really advertise private classes, but I still did private lessons. This is word of mouth. As people reached out to me, I'd take people on. But this year I want to start marketing it and trying to get more people to do the one-on-one stuff. And then I'm going to switch up the way I've done the group classes. In the past, it's always been semi-private. It's always been small group, 5 riders. And but a lot of time you get a different mixture of riders. So sometimes you get like a 50 in there, and then you got like a beginner, and then you'll have a little more advanced. And when you get into beginner, there's so many different levels of beginner. You can have like a brand new beginner, kind of a beginner that's got a little bit of skills, and then kind of like a novice, early intermediate beginner. So sometimes the classes are a little bit mixed. So this year, what I'm going to try to do, still keep them semi-private at this point, and then just switch it to where it's almost like it's beginner semi-private class, vet semi-private class, 50 semi-private class, small bike semi-private, and just kind of try to group more people that are more on the same page together. I think it'll help the class flow a little bit more. So that'll be the only change for this year as of right now, grouping up the small groups kind of more towards the level of each rider, and then open up and doing more private stuff, and then trying to find and trying to lock down. Like I said, I'm leaning towards Hillsdale being a spot. If I can use that as my spot, that's going to be the spot until we find our own spot. And once we find our own spot, we're going to build our own track, and it'll even be better. Like I said, I've talked about it before in the past. We're going to, have I want to do both moto and freestyle. So a lot of people have been hitting me. It's funny how many people hit me up lately about freestyle lessons. So a lot of people hit me up with that. A lot of people hit me up through the winter from the USMCA Coaching Association. So been getting a lot of just leads over the winter leading into next spring. So I really dude, at the end of the day, I love coaching, love moto, and I just want to continue to grow as a coach and make things better. And I think once I get my own facility, it's just going to be that much better. So super excited to keep growing, and looking forward to what God has for us with that piece of land. And then other than that, we are doing it just started today. First one, I haven't even did a post about it. I always like saving stuff for you guys, but we're doing what do we want to call it? Let's call it a New Year's sale. New Year's sale on the website, RonnieFaisstMX.com. All the merch is on sale. And some of the older stuff, we lowered some of the prices on some of that stuff because it's been on the site for a while. So we lowered the price, plus everything's 20%. So if you guys are interested in grabbing some merch, visit RonnieFaisstMX.com for our 2022 sale. And then other than that, man, we just had probably one of the craziest A1s in a long time. Let me just flip this over for a second, because I had let me be honest with you guys. Eric knows, because I was texting Eric. Dude, I fell asleep. Let's just be honest. I was sleeping. Dude, it's hard to stay up when you're a vet rider, right? The races came on at, what time did they come on here? 9 o'clock my time, I believe, because it was 7 o'clock Cali time. So 9 o'clock, I'll be honest with you. I missed the first heat race because I was upstairs and I had the football game on. I just kind of laying in bed waiting for the races, and I'm like, oh shoot, the race is on. Ran downstairs because we only get on downstairs TV. Missed the first heat race, caught the second heat race, fell asleep before the 250 main, woke up watched part of it, and then fell asleep for the whole 450 main. So I was struggling, but hey, I watched it today. I was like, you know what, Moto Monday's coming back. I got to watch the races. I got to know what happened, dude. So, hey, I'm a squid. I'll admit to you. I can't stay up late, dude. I need my sleep. But anyway, watch the races, and I was just blown away. First of all, Lawrence got hurt before the races, even leading up to the races. And then in the first 250 race, was the first heat race, Nichols crashed. And I didn't even check some of you guys know. If you guys know, you guys jump in the chat and say what's going on. But Nichols crashed in the first heat race. Mosselman ended up winning. Swole crashed in the second race, and then that one ended up getting red flag. And I don't, like I said, I didn't check I don't know what anyone did. I'm like, it looked like when Swole got up today that his arm was dangling. Like I was like, ooh, that looks kind of broke. But I didn't follow up to see what everyone got. So if you know what happened to Nichols, what did he break? I know it's probably right on. You just need to jump on Instagram and go right to their. Nichols broke his arm and hurt his hip. You know what? Actually, I think I saw that puncture he took. You know what? That was I'm thinking of our boy Sipes. Sipes got hurt as well the week before the 250 race, or week before A1. I believe he was in the 250 class. He broke his pelvis. So you got Sipes is out, Jet's out, and then right off the bat, first heat race, Nichols goes down, and then second heat race, Swole goes down. So look at all these dudes that are already out. Round one, like that's a lot of dudes that are out sitting on the sideline. So it was just crazy. And then Craig comes out in the second heat race, and I feel like he's probably gonna be with the guys out. I think Craig, Lawrence, I think Craig's probably going to be the guy to beat this year in that class. I think about all the times I've seen people clowning him on Instagram that it was like his 15th year in the 250 class. But I think he has a lot of experience, and I think his time has come. And I like Craig, and I think he's probably going to be, especially now with some of these top guys being out. He definitely has a really big chance. I think Lawrence is going to be up there. He'll be a contender, but definitely look for Craig to be probably the guy right now. With Nichols being out, yeah, it's going to be tough. And then in 450 class, I mean, shoot, Sexton won the first heat race, looking smooth. And then who won the second race? Oh, Roxanne won the second heat race with Anderson going down. Anderson crashing that one. But I think dude, and then just jumping from heat races to main, because I really paid attention. I was kind of scrolling quick through the heat races today when I just wanted to kind of see what was going on, but I really watched the mains, and Sexton was on Roxanne, dude. I almost feel like Sexton's got it if he can keep it together, because Sexton was right there all over Roxanne. It's definitely, he's effortless and smooth. Roxanne's smooth too, but Sexton's super smooth, but then he had some mistakes. I think he went down twice. I know he crashed in the woods, but what did he do? Slip over on a track? I can't remember now. But anyway, he crashed twice and then jacked his whole moto up. But there was like, dude, what else happened in that moto? We had what's his face, dude? 25 on the KTM. I know you guys. Marvin cleaned out Malcolm. I don't know if you guys saw that one, but he cleaned out Marvin cleaned out Malcolm. And that's funny because Marvin's not normally that type of rider, and he came in super aggressive and just cleaned out Malcolm. I don't know if you guys seen the pictures that were online, because that's why I was like, I saw these pictures of Malcolm, and he was heated. I'm like, dude, what happened? I'm like, something happened. But then I saw it today, and I'm like, oh, no wonder he was heated, because that was kind of dirty. So you had Mossman getting cleaned out, or Malcolm getting cleaned out, and then you had, you know how I thought looked the best? I got everybody texting me up here. Of all, because, there was all the bike, everyone's switching this year, jumping around. I thought of all the guys who switched companies, I thought Anderson looked the most impressive on that Cowie. And I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? He just looked at home. He looked comfortable. He looked like Anderson, and he was up there too. And he passed Barsha for second, and then Barsha cleaned him out like the next turn. I'm like, dude. I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on. Like, the dude passed you so clean. He was obviously going faster than you, and you're like, yo, I'm just going to take him down. So he got knocked out by Barsha. Barsha ended up finishing third. But if you were watching like all the guys who jumped to new bikes, I think he stood out the most to me as the most comfortable. And I just started thinking about it. You know what? I was like, I rode Cowie. I went from riding Honda my whole life to riding Cowie, and I loved my Cowie, and I felt good on my Cowie. And when I went from Cowie to Husky, it took me a little bit longer to get used to the Husky than it did when I jumped from Honda to Cowie. And I started thinking about that today, because I was like, man, he looks good on the Cowie. And then I was like, oh, dude, I liked my Cowie too. So I started thinking, I'm like, why was it such a jump? And I was like, well, maybe it's the frame. At the end of the day, the Honda has aluminum frame, Cowie has aluminum frame, and Husqvarna doesn't. So maybe that's similar. But I don't know. Cowie's a good bike. Husky's a good bike. Honda's a good bike. They're all good bikes. But I thought Anderson looked the best. And you know how I think you're going to have to watch out for? And, hey, I didn't even give a shout-out. Roxanne with the win, right? Roxanne with the win. Webb with the second. Anderson with – or not Anderson. Barsha with the third. I think you can't count out the defending champ, because Webb started way back. I don't even know where he was in the first half of the race, but I know he was well towards the low end of 10th. You know what I mean? He might even been farther, but he worked his way up like he always does and got all the way in the second. So I think he's going to be that dude who's always like Webb, kind of starts off the year slow, but he kind of works his way through the pack, keeps getting his consistent finishes. So, and Roxanne always starts off good. He has the good in the early year and then sometimes seems to fade out. Same thing, good early moto, sometimes fades off. So I'm pulling for Roxanne. I want Roxanne to win. I always like Roxanne. I like the Honda guys. I really, if I think about the dudes, I like Sexton, and I think Sexton has the skills and the ability to grow into a champion because the dude is a champion. He won a 250 title. Watch how he rides. He just needs to keep it together a little bit more. And I think once he gets through those, he's not a rookie. Last year was his rookie season, so on the 450, once he gets through those, I don't know how long. Maybe he can get it together this year, but that dude has got skills, and I think he has the potential to win a 450 title. So I think keep your eye on Sexton. I think Webb, obviously, and then, of course, Roxanne. And then, I was expecting more out of Tomac, and then I don't even know where he finished. Oh, you know what? Dang, that's what I forgot to do. Hold up. I forgot to put the things up like we always do. See, I told you I'm rusty. It's been a minute. Let's pull up the results. I usually have them here so I can pull them up, and I took them here, and I didn't put them up on the screen. I totally forgot this is what I do. All right, so this is 450 results. We'll go backwards. We'll talk about 250. At the end of the day, 250 class, like I said, there wasn't too much to talk about in the main. Craig just smoked them. But anyway, we got Roxton, Webb, Barsha, Muscan, Sexton, Tomac, Stewart in 7th, and Savachi. So think about this. Stewart got cleaned out and still got 7th. Anderson got cleaned out by Barsha, and I think Anderson finished 10th. Sexton went down twice and finished 5th. So that's something to think about. Crashed twice, still got top 5 in a 450 class. That's pretty impressive because that class is gnarly. And then Cooper coming into a solid 2nd. Roxanne pretty much, he led the whole race. Sexton got the whole shot. Roxanne passed him on the 2nd turn and led the whole race. And he won by 10 or 11 seconds. So he had a huge lead. So, but like I said, if Cooper becomes a better starter, watch out, because to come from 10th up to 2nd in that class is pretty impressive. So, I'm pulling for the Honda guys. That's what I was kind of getting at, and jumped rabbit trail for a second. But Ken's always been my guy. Sexton is right there too. And on the 250s, Jet's my guy. The Honda dudes all are the smooth. They're the smooth dudes. And then Anderson's he's my go-to guy because Anderson, even though I'm like, I love that really fluid, effortless. Sexton's probably, if I could pick one dude, is my favorite. He just looks like butter, dude. Or don't look like he tries. He's so smooth and so calculated. And then Anderson's the complete opposite. I know I talked about this before, but he's fun to watch. I like Anderson. He just moves. It's like the smoothness of Sexton, but the looseness of Anderson, and it's just a fun rider to watch. So I think it's gonna be a cool season. It's gonna be fun to watch. Jumping over to 250 results. Like I said, Jet's out, Swole's out, Nichols is out. My buddy Sipes is out. Craig with the lead. Hammock, I never say his name right. Hamburger. I'm just saying. Lawrence, man, what's wrong with my phone? Hunter Lawrence with the 3rd. Marchbanks, Freeze, jumping back. And Freeze was leading for a while. If you guys watch it, Freeze got out to Freeze. I almost think Freeze pulled the whole shot and led for a while. So he's jumping back. Freeze used to be a 450 guy, jumping back and hitting the 250 class. And then Mossaman, and then Shimoda rounding out top 7. And like I said, I definitely think Hunter Lawrence is going to be up in there. I think Freeze too. And I don't want to count out Mossaman or Shimoda. I think everybody you're seeing that on this top 6 or 7 right now are people that all have potential. But I do think Craig has an upper hand, especially with some of the top dudes being out. So I think that one's up for, sorry, man. Me and Mel were just grubbing down right before I eat, and now I'm burping up my dinner. But it's going to be a fun season to watch. So we got A2, or what's coming up next? Oakland, right? We got Oakland coming up next. Oh, and just a little shout out to Roxanne here. Check this out. Roxanne has got, he got 20, winning the 450 main. He got 20 wins, career wins in the 450 class, which tied Jeff Ward. And all you guys have been around the sport a long time know who Jeff Ward is. Legendary Kawasaki rider. So that's pretty cool. Roxanne ties him now with career wins. And he has 5 wins at Anaheim, and 4 of the 5 wins at Anaheim are at Anaheim 1. So pretty cool, setting some pretty good records like that. Seeing if anything else was there. Oh, and another thing that I noticed. Did you guys notice how the whoops of all the places on the track seemed to be the spot of the track where everybody was struggling the most? Like everybody seemed pretty fast, pretty consistent around the track. But when everyone got to the whoops, some dudes would try to skim it, some dudes were trying to jump through it. And I think why they were so difficult is the corner was like so close to the whoops that you couldn't get a run in. And if anyone's ever tried to ride stadium whoops, the faster you get into them, more momentum you can carry into them, the easier they are. And there was no way to really carry much momentum. So the only way to get any little bit of momentum was to go to the outside. Roxanne was kind of taking that line. If you watched the early battle in the 450 class when Sexton and Roxanne were going kind of toe-to-toe, Roxanne kept railing on the outside and he'd skim him, and Sexton went inside every time, and he was forced to kind of go 3-3-4. I think he was doing through him. But I think they're difficult. One, they're probably big. Like always, the Supercross whoops are ridiculous these days. But I think the reason why they were so difficult is the amount of room that the riders had to gain momentum to get into them was making them super difficult. I'm a fan of. I love guys when they skim them. I think jumping them is not my favorite way. I know Webb likes to do that a lot. But I mean, hey, Sexton was making it work though. 3-3-4 I think was his rhythm from the inside lane. And it was working pretty good. But I think I almost want to say that's where Malcolm passed. Or no, it was Anderson. I feel like Anderson passed Barsha. Does anyone remember? I think Anderson passed Barsha from, maybe it was the outside. Anyway, I think he passed him going down the whoops, and the very next corner is where Barsha just parked him. Put him well over the berm. But anyway, good times and good racing. And looking forward to just this season. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. And I think as guys get more and more comfortable, especially the guys that switch bikes, you're going to probably see you never can count Tomac out. He's another champion. So just the first race of the year, and we got a long season ahead of us. Hey, the R from X. Wait, what's he saying? What's Brian saying? Hey, the R from X symbol is right on your face on the screen. Why is that like that? I must have hit something. Oh, man. I did something wrong. I hit something. There you go. I just took it off. Hey, I hit something. I'm always squirreling out. But, so anyway, how have you guys been, man? We're going to scroll up to the top of this and just see. But how's everybody been? Because it's been a minute. All right, so if you're new here, hey, let's talk Supercross. Let's talk Moto. Let's hear what you guys are thinking. What were your highlights of the race? Who you guys feeling? What do you guys think? Like, you heard my little ramble of what I'm thinking is going to happen. What do you guys think? Post up in the chat here what you guys are thinking. I'm just going to kind of scroll through. If I see a question, I'll jump on it. And like I was getting at, if you're new here and you want to put a question up, put the question marks after your question. Put a couple of them, put like 3 of them, so I can, it'll pop out to me in the chat as it's kind of like MX tips right here. Right here. See how he does it? Boom, boom. Ronnie, could you DM on Discord? What is Discord? I don't know what that is. So comment back, let me know what that is, and I'll let you know. But I've never heard of it. Is that another social page? I'm falling behind. There's too many of them. Like Instagram's becoming like what Facebook used to become. Like I don't even have TikTok. That's the new one. That one's been out for a while, but that's where the kids are. I'm not even on there. I need to step it up and get a TikTok, huh? All right, let me see. Happy birthday. Hey, we got Dan, my boy, from New Zealand. Yeah, looking forward. Oh, it's Tuesday there. That's funny. Yeah, so we do Moto Monday night. So it's probably Tuesday morning there, huh? Let's talk about how Cooper Webb is about to repeat this year. So, yeah, Sky is saying Cooper Webb is about to repeat this year. Dude, Cooper Webb is not my favorite rider out there, but at the end of the day, you can't knock the dude. The dude has got skills. He's got skills. At the end of the day, he's always consistent. He wins championships. He got skills. So, can't knock him, dude. He's a beast. Oh, yes. Was it supposed to be back last week? I get my numbers confused. I figured this week was a better week to do it because we at least had the race to talk about. So maybe I originally did say the 3rd. Probably did, knowing me. But then I was like, yeah, Supercross, we'll do it the Monday after Supercross. Yeah, talk about the race. Sweet. Got Howard back in the game. What up, Howard? Monroe, what up, what up? We got the boys in here. We got Jeff. What up, Jeff? He said he's in Jersey right now. Freezing my butt off. That's too funny. Is it cold there right now? It's actually kind of warm today. Dude, it got really cold here in the Midwest. Seriously, it was like negative. And now it's back up. It's not bad. It was like 40s today. And I think it's honestly hitting 50s this week, which is going to feel awesome after how cold it was. Because it got so cold that I walked out one day and it was 30. And I'm like, oh, this feels nice. I'm like, this is sweet. It should be riding right now. It was 30. That's because after it hits a -0 for 4 or 5 days straight, you're like, 30 feels sweet. Supercross season sale. Yeah, Mel, that's it. All right, that's what we're going to call it, a Supercross season sale. All right, 20% off, FromX, Supercross season sale. I like that. Mel's always got the good ones. Give me a XL. Yeah, we're low on a lot of stuff. We actually need to get some more stuff. This is one of our new ones. We ride dirt bikes. That's one of our new ones, but low on a lot of stuff. But that's because you guys, hey, appreciate, thank you guys, everyone that supported the merch. The reason why we're low, because you buy stuff, so thank you. Super stoked. DK said he fell asleep too. See, me and you were on the same team, dude. Team old school. Struggle bus. Nichols broke both arms. I did, okay. Both arms and hurt his hip. And so what happened to Swole? Because it looked like his wrist was dangling. Anybody got a Swole update? Throw it in the chat. Now, all right, so let's jump in MS here. It says, Ronnie, not really a question, but up for a topic, but asking anyways. How is the proper FMX suspension set up? That's a great question, actually. So just to hit that first, the proper FMX suspension is going to be super stiff, stiffer than a Supercross. But if you have Supercross setting will work fine. But most of the guys actually run something a little bit stiffer than Supercross. Stiffer the better in freestyle. At the end of the day, you're coming into the ramp, and when you hit that ramp, because you, like I said, when you approach a freestyle ramp, you want to kind of go a little bit slower and then power through the ramp. So you kind of go, and then try to load that bike and get the bike to pop up a little bit. So if the bike's real soft, it pushes into the ramp so much, and then it wants to go and unload, inconsistent, kind of bucky, and it throws you off balance. So if you get the suspension real stiff, you can come in kind of cruise and go, gas it, and then it loads. It kind of goes, because it's so stiff, it loads into the ramp slowly, and then when it unloads at a slower pace. And same thing, you can run if you have stock stuff, turn it all the way in completely stiff, and then you can slow your rebound a little bit down too, so it reacts slower off the ramp. So it gives you don't want it real springy. If it's real springy and it's acting fast, it's hard to do your tricks because everything's happening too quick. You want to kind of slow things down a little bit. So stiffer is always the way to go in freestyle. So if you got a guy, you're going to drop your suspension off, ask him if he has a Supercross setting, and if he does, say, hey, can you just make it a little bit stiffer? And you should be dialed. All right, he says, I got my suspension done, and it is really harsh when riding anything else than jumps. That's the downside of having freestyle suspension. If you have a bike set up for freestyle, it's going to suck everywhere else. You take your bike, you almost have to have two bikes, one for the track and one for freestyle, because freestyle doesn't work on the track and it doesn't work in the trails. It's a jump bike, so you kind of have to dedicate a bike just for ramps, or like a free ride bike, same thing. You can have your ramp bike, free ride bike, same bike, just a stiff bike. You're going to jump on that bike. You're going to go to the track and it's just going to beat you up. It's going to suck. That's the only downside when you, I guess some things never change around here, huh? It was the lighting. Dealing with that for a year, right? Always dimming down halfway through the show. I mean, if just think about, what do you do more? Do you ride the track more, or do you moto more? If you moto more, I would just get tell them you want a good outdoor steady, but make it a little bit on the stiff side. That way, if you go to ride ramps or go out and free ride, you just crank your stuff in. But if you ride ramps more, this is if you only have one bike and one setup, and you kind of have to try to bridge the gap. If you ride ramps more and free ride more, and you don't ride the track that much, then get it set up stiff. Maybe not crazy stiff. Just say, hey, maybe just give me a softer Supercross setting which will still be, and you can crank it all the way in when you jump the ramps, then crank it all the way out when you hit the track, and then try to just bridge the gap. Because I get it. Not everybody can have 2 bikes, and everybody can have 2 sets of suspension. But I totally know, dude. There was a time when I had a freestyle bike, and that was my only bike, and I rode it at the track, and it just will be. And I know guys that do that sometimes. It beats you up. You're like, damn, I can't get my bike to turn. That's because your forks are way too stiff. But you do want the stiff setup. Oh, my boy Adam is back in the game here with the super chat. Tax season. Can we get write-offs for our Moto Monday? See if you can get a tax deduction for that, brother. But hey, much love. Glad to see you back in here, dude. And thank you always for supporting the channel. And with the super chat love, we got BB37 is in here. He says, I know you're a good friend of Deegan's. Let's see. I know you're a good friend. Deegan's, what do you think of Haydens signing with Star Yamaha? Honestly, I knew the whole time. I just couldn't. Deegan could say, don't tell anyone, don't tell. I knew the whole time who he's signing with. Just couldn't let the cat out of the bag. That's how it goes. And I even know other stuff that's going on here in the Midwest. People say, hey, don't tell me. And it ain't even got nothing to do with factory people. It's just local MX stuff. People are like, hey, don't say nothing. I'm like, all right, your word's good with me, dude. I think it's the right deal. At the end of the day, I look at it like this. Like, the Deegans are a family. Brian's is brought up all his kids. It only makes sense that Danger Boy would sign with Star Yamaha and be a monster rider, because they have a YouTube channel that's a family channel. Like, their channel is the Deegans. So it'd be really hard if the whole family was monster and then one was Rockstar or Red Bull, if they would stay with KTM. So to me, it made sense to keep Danger Boy. And honestly, I think that team's probably one of the best teams to be on too. So it's a great team, but I think the monster thing was super smart, keeping the whole family together. Haley's a monster driver. Deegan's a monster driver. Hayden's going to be a monster guy. Well, he is a monster guy, but I think that's super smart. And so it didn't surprise me, and I think it's a great team. I think Hayden's going to, rise up to be a champion one day. The dude's he's super. He just turned. Happy birthday, Hayden. He's 16 today, and he's got a lot of room and time to grow, and he's already, you guys know how good he is. He's sick. So can't wait to watch him win a championship. I can't wait to watch him win his first race. And I won't be surprised if he ghost rides his bike like his dad. All right, let's see. Yeah, so we got Brian's got tickets for St. Louis. Sweet. Hey, in California, my California peeps, my West Coast peeps, I'm planning on, I kind of blew it this year. I was planning on going out to A1, lagged on booking a flight, and I waited too long, and then they were ridiculous. I'm like, okay, I ain't going. So I didn't go to A1. And then my mom was like, hey, I'm coming out these dates. Is that okay? Yeah, cool. Didn't even look at the dates. Yeah, great. And then I went to book for like San Diego or A2, and they're the same time my mom's here. So I was like, oh, shoot. I'm like, I can't go to those. Mom's in town. So I'm booking so I'm only going to go out there once this year. I'll be out in February, going to be out for Anaheim 3, and my plan is flying on Thursday. I'm going to be at Fox Raceway, Paula Raceway, what do you call it? I'll be there Friday, and I'm doing privates all day long. So if you're interested, be sure to email me at info@ronniefeistmx.com. And I'm probably honestly, in a day's day, I only can probably do 3 different riders back to back, and it'll take up the whole day. Most people do 2 hours, so that'd be a 6-hour day. So that'd be it. So, and I know almost 100% that I got one spot taken, and this other guy might drive him from Arizona. So the 2 might be gone. So it might only be 1 spot available right now. But if you're interested, I'll be there the Friday before Anaheim 3, which I believe is February. What is it? Does anyone know off the top of their head? Anyway, then I'm going to be at the race on Saturday. I'm going to be back at Fox Raceway on Sunday, but just for a ride day. I'm going there. I'm just going to enjoy me and Twitch are going to track. I think it's February 14th. No, it's February 12th, I believe. So I'll fly in on the 10th, be coaching on the 11th. I'll be at the race on the 12th, and then I'm going to moto with the boys just Sunday, moto day at the raceway, and then I'm flying home Monday. So short trip, but if anybody's out there from Cali, let's link up. And hit me up sooner than later because, like I said, I can only do 3 people on a day, and the day will be done. All right, we got Monroe. Kansas City Chiefs. That's right. Hey, we won last week. Thanks to our defense. Yo, we got Warner up in here. Here he is, East Coast boy. Y'all know Warner's been in here before. Longtime friend. Known this dude since the 4th grade, dude. Met this dude when I was a little buck. Grew up in the neighborhood, raced together. Another awesome rider from back home. Actually, probably guys saw the post. Had dinner with him. Me, him, and Sipe. 343. All right, let's jump in here. MX tips. It says, is there an app for texting that doesn't have the government on you? I don't know, dude. I feel like they're tracking us anyway, dude. Everything you do, Google, Apple, they got us. It's over. Nothing we can do. You ever notice, like, you ever just say something and then you get back on Instagram and an ad pops up for it? They know everything, dude. Listening to us. I do that all the time. I'll be like, yo, I need to look up barn dominiums, get some bids. Next thing I'll get on Instagram and all these builders for barn dominiums are popping up on my feed. I'm like, how'd that happen? It's because they're listening, dude. So who knows what's safe these days? Probably not much. Chiefs for the win. Yeah, we're going for it. BB 37. We got our Texas boy here, Justin. Big Texas. Yeah, Texas is a sweet moto spot. Definitely. Let's see. Oh, man. Nico saying the Yamaha boys will make it for both classes. Yeah, so Howard asked about Mel. So little up. Let's give Mel an update. Update on Mel. She, if you guys, some of you guys know, some of you probably don't. She got hit when I was in Jersey. I was hunting, sitting in the tree right before dark. I get a text from her. She's like, "Hey, I just got an accident. Lady ran a red light." I'm like, first thing you think is like, "Oh, dude, what? You all okay? Good red light? I never good." And she sent me a picture of her hand, and her hand's like covered in blood, dude. When the airbag went off, it caught her finger, broke her thumb, and cut her. So be careful about where you hold on to the steering wheel, because I never realized it's actually dangerous to put your hand in front of your airbag. And if you actually get on Google and Google airbag hand injuries, you'll be blown away at how gnarly the photos are. It looks like people held like a firecracker in their hand and it blew up. Finger's gone. So super sketchy. So if you ever think someone's going to hit you, make sure, I heard it's better to be down low than even at the standard where they used to teach us when I went to driving school. I heard they bring you down here now. But don't drive with your hand on the center because it's dangerous. But thank God she's cool. She's doing good. Mally was in the car. Mally didn't get hurt, thank God. Thumb's still bothering her a little bit, but she's healing up. I think it mostly scared her. Mostly was just shook her up. And now she's just driving the car with her. She's just nervous. She's always like, slow down. Why just freaking out all the time? But she's doing good. Thanks for asking. I think the Yamaha boys will make it. So Nico's saying, I think the Yamaha boys will make it for both classes. What Yamaha boys are we talking about, Nico? Wait, let me get Howard down here for a second. So what Yamaha boys? Because there's who we got. The two that got is, let us know. Let us know down below. And another thing I just want to touch on while we're on here, because I posted this up and then I looked at the first comment was on there. People were like, hey, whatever happened to you and your wife's YouTube channel? So just to let you guys know, hey, we took a break from doing YouTube on the Ronnie and Mel side, but we're not done with ministry. Just doing other things right now, not YouTube stuff. Like, I'm always going to work with FCA, Fellowship Christian Athletes. They do motocross camps. Always going to work with those guys. We have a church coming up that we're speaking at in March. Me and Mel are doing that. And we're still going to do YouTube. So it's just, it might not be like it was in the past where we were 1 week we had a new video every single week. We're going to start posting some of Mel's. I don't know if everyone followed Mel's. She had Morning with Mel's was her podcast. What we're going to do in the meantime, while we're kind of working back into creating some content, is we're going to just post up some of her podcasts on the page. If you haven't heard it, dude, it's actually really good. No matter if you're a guy or a girl, Mel is an awesome Bible teacher. And they're really short, like 5 to 8 minutes, I'd say. They're little devotionals. So we're going to post those up, and then we're going to kind of work our way back to getting some newer content out that we're doing. And so we're not done with it. It's just we're on a little break here. So just to kind of, if anybody was wondering, we're coming back. We'll be back. We're not gone. But ministry don't ever stop at the end of the day. Like I said, FCA Moto Camp, when I get my own personal track, I'm going to do, we had the vision to, here's the deal. Like everything that we have, we look at like, dude, that's a gift from God. God gave us that. God gives us gifts. He gives us time. He gives us finances. He gives us land. He gives everything we have from God. So let's, we're managers. At the end of the day, we got to steward what God gives us. So we want to make sure we manage what God gives us good and use it for God's glory. So at the end of the day, when I get that motocross track, I'm like, you know what? We're going to do a little, it's not going to be open to the public. We're going to do Moto Church, but it's going to be a small group for my Moto boys. So if you know me and I know you, you're invited. Come. We're going to do Sunday, probably in the afternoon. That way anyone who goes to church on a normal basis can go to church. And you can come to my house. We're going to have a ride day. But the early part of that ride day is we're going to open in prayer. We're going to pray together. And then we're just going to read the Bible and we're going to talk about it. And I'm just going to go verse by verse. We're going to pick a book, say, hey, we're starting in the book of John today. Good. Here we go. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word of God was with God, and the Word of God was with God. Was God. And I'm going to read it. And then I'm just going to talk to you about what this means. And then we can ask questions, short little 15, 20 minute, 30 minute discussion. And then boom, we'll go out and track Moto for the rest of the day and have a good time. And we'll try to do that. I don't know if it'll be a weekly thing. It might just be a monthly thing in the beginning. We'll see. And if any of you guys have girlfriends or wives and they want to come, they're welcome. And Mel's going to take those girls into the house. So I'll do a small little devotional with, it's like a men's group at the end of the day, but gathered around Moto, the people that I've met tons of great people out here in the Midwest. So if I know, like I said, if I know you, I'll be inviting you, come out, we'll Moto, we'll talk Bible. That's ministry. And it's a place for people. And it doesn't matter if you're a believer or not. If you're not a believer, and you're interested, come hang out. And that's the whole point, that you can, because here's the thing. The Bible says you have, that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So you can't come to faith until you hear the word. You need to hear the word before you can believe in it, right? It says, how can they know if someone doesn't tell them? And how can they hear if somebody doesn't go? Blessed are the feet of those who bring the gospel of peace. Someone's got to tell them. Someone's got to. So that's the whole point. Like, it's like I didn't believe in the Bible until I read it for myself. I heard the word. I read it, right? And then I became a believer. So the same thing. We're opening up a place where people can come and hear the word of God and feel comfortable. And you can come for as long as you want. If you never decide to believe in it, hey, ain't nobody judging you, dude. That's all good. You can still ride with us, still hang out with us, we can still love you. I don't take on friends by their belief system. I take on friends by personalities. If I like you, we're buddies. That's how I roll. And if we end up sharing the same faith, that's even greater. Now we're buddies in the Lord, and hey, we'll be hanging out together for eternity. Awesome. But if you choose to not believe what I believe, I don't look at you any less. I don't expect people to believe everything I believe. Can't live like that, right? People have the freedom to do and believe what they want to believe. That's okay. God has given us free will, and I think that's a beautiful thing about how God, think about this. God wants people to choose him free willingly. Like, love that's forced is not love, right? You follow God because you know God and you love God, right? So why would he just program a bunch of robots to do what he said? No, he's going to give you free will. So you choose him because it's a choice. Like, I choose this. Nobody's forcing me to believe this. Is what I believe. And I choose to live like this because of what I believe in, what I love God. Thankful for what God has done, you know. So anyway, Ronnie and Mel is still here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Just need a little breather. That's all. Everybody needs a breather sometimes, right? All right, back to the questions here. Atlanta. All right, so we got Sky's going to Atlanta. See, everybody's going. I know, can't miss out, right? All right, so just don't want to miss no one. We got Sky going to Atlanta and probably Daytona. Sky's doing big things right now. Yeah, Daytona. So check it out. We'll give a little Warner shout out. Me and Warner raced Daytona together in was it 96 or 97, Warner? I have pictures, me, you, and Dangler. I think it was 96. So that's how long we old schoolers. But we raced there. I didn't make the main. Dave Kratz crashed into me. I'll never forget it. I bought a brand new pipe, and when you're a privateer and you put a new pipe on your bike, you're super pumped because you don't get nothing for free and everything costs you money, and you're usually pretty broke. I put a brand new pipe on my bike. I'll never forget. Dave Kratz, he was a privateer, another one of our buddies. He was from Pennsylvania. We collided in the heat race and day qualifiers, and he smashed my brand new pipe, and I was so bummed. I'm like, dude, I just bought this thing. Come on, Kratz. Hey, I follow Kratz on Instagram. And hey, Kratz loves the Lord too. I got to give a shout out to my buddy Kratz. All right. Thanks for clarifying. I was at the track. All right, so that's MS. Wait, did I... Just make sure I'm missing a minute. Jeff will be at A3. Let's link up, Jeff. Been a long time. Let's link up. Yep. Google it, Brian. Yeah, the hand stuff. Watch, you'll trip out. Hand injuries for car crashes or airbag hand injuries, something like that. Yep, more. So I'm a little far behind on the comments here. V Dubsky is back. He is our OG of the OGs here on the on the Moto Mondays. This isn't Ronnie and Mel. He says, "Hey brother, my crew is headed to Arlington in February for Supercross. Seen Mel saying that she has some family around that area. Yep, she does have family in Dallas. So Arlington, isn't that the same area? I believe 100%. Would be great to see you all. My 06 250 finally be completed at the end of this week. Send you some pics. All right. Hey, send us some pics. I'm going to post them up because we've been talking that for a while. V-Dub's been long time dude on the channel here. Always here week after week. Always. So, hey, thanks for the super chat too. Showing love, throwing it up. And he got one of my bikes. He loves to collect bikes and hook them up. He's got one of my bikes. I know he bought a 2006 CR250, one of last year's. I think 2007 was the official last year of that bike, but still one of the very last years that bike was even made. He got a really clean one. He's been rebuilding it. He's been sending me pics, and it's sick. Look, Warner's trying to jump on it. I know. Hey, I got first dibs, DB Dub. If you sell that thing, you better hit me up. Don't be selling it to Warner. I'm closer, dude. I'll meet you halfway in Oklahoma again at the FCA camp. Yeah, so here he is there. Maybe I'll see you at FCA camp. Yeah, bring the 06. I'll take it home with me. Yeah, he ain't selling it, Warner. Yeah, so it was 94. So Warner raced out. I don't think I raced there in 94. So I think I only went in 96. So Warner was there in 94, 96, drove home, pick up, 96, pulled over. Yeah, so we used to drive down there, and we used to live in our vans. We had those extended old vans. None of us had any money, and we were all young, fresh out of high school. Actually, yeah, we were fresh. So we graduated in 95. So, yeah, so I was definitely there in 96. My first year out of high school. Lived in the van, and the way we did it was you could sign up to the gym, get a membership so you could train, then you could go moto all day. And then you lived out of your van, parked in a. I think Warner, you actually had a house one year. He had a better budget than me, I guess. I didn't have the house. Some of the guys had hotel rooms. They stay in for 3 months, but basically get out of Jersey for the cold months, go down to Florida, live in your van, sign up for the gym. That way you could train at the gym and then have a shower. Or if you were lucky, one of your buddies let you sneak into the hotel and take a shower. But have a cooler, lived on PB&Js and cereal, the good old days. Let's see here, man. Let's see here. We got Justin here. Says, my wife, follow you and Mel, YouTube. We would love to come to the event you're talking about. Is Mel still on here? I don't think she is, because we just talked to the lady today about what church. It's a church in Lee Summit. It is in March. And I can't remember the name of the church. So, hey, you know what? As we get closer to that event, I'll make sure that I'm doing just some updates here if anybody's in the area and you want to come out. It's a singles event, so I know it's geared towards single people. At the end of the day, it don't matter. Come out, hang out, come meet us, come up, say what up, talk to us. Love to meet you guys. I know Brian might come out. I think Eric D might roll out. A couple of the boys from in the chat might be out there, some of the local guys. Well, hey, it's all good. Even if maybe you're saying, well, he's not saying you say you got a wife, but even if it don't matter, you and your wife can come. It's still good. Still hang out. So we can talk about it. Talk about. I think they really just want to kind of hear me and Mel's story, and I think they were just really like me and Mel stayed pure through our whole marriage and didn't even kiss until our wedding day. So believe that one. So I think a lot of people like that. The church are like, wait, you so they want us to share that, and I think they're going to sit down and do an interview style, so we'll see what other type of questions they have, but I know they're probably going to get lean towards our how we dated, because we dated, I'll be honest with you, we dated like I never dated like that. Like Mel just had a lot of, she was just really serious about her walk with the Lord, really serious with her faith, and she wasn't going to kind of mess around with squirrely moto dude like me. So we just laid it down. Like we used to, we would fast from each other. I never did that. I'm saying we would take breaks and not talk to each other for like 7 days a week, and then come back. We would obviously, like I said, we were pure the entire time. We had boundaries up. We didn't hang out alone together. All this stuff that I'll be honest with you, I never did that before. That's why I always struggled with staying pure with other girls, because I put myself in situations that I shouldn't have been in. And I know a lot of other people do the same thing, especially if you're a believer. If you're an unbeliever, hey, most people don't care. You do what you want to do. You live how you live. But in the church, you know that you want to try to keep yourself pure. And that's not an easy thing in today's world. So you always put yourself in a position you can, and then you end up stumbling, and then you feel bad afterwards. So we want to just try to help people, navigate some people, what that's like. And it can be done. Listen, if I did it, of all people, anybody can do it, but you got to need God's help. You ain't going to do it on your own strength. It takes God. This is what I've been learning. And not that I haven't learned this, but God's been kind of refreshing it even just this morning as I was just reading. It takes God to follow God. You can't do it on your own. At the end of the day, you need God's help just to follow him. Like, Lord, I can't even do it on my own. I'm too weak. I'm too, it's too much, just too much of me and me. You know what I mean? I'm just too much going on. It's so easy to get distracted. Like, God, help me focus, help me reset, help me stay on track. Like, help me. Because otherwise it's like, wide open. There's a lot of going on, everything's fighting for our attention. So it's not, it's a battle to be a man of God in today's world, but it's a blessing at the same time. There is great rewards in following God, and what I've learned as a believer, the greatest reward is God himself. It's experience. It's the experience that we get as believers as God reveals himself to each one of us in a personal way. That's the most exciting part, because when God's in your life and he's doing stuff and you're starting to see things happen that that's only God, it gets exciting. It's fun. So, but you can't experience that unless you go on your own little journey and seek God out for yourself. And that's when he becomes real to you. And that's what we all need. Nobody needs religion. Religion's going to do zero for you. Religion has done nothing for no one at any good time. Religious people are whack. It's not working. Jesus didn't even like the religious people. He called them out. He's not looking for religious people. He's looking for real people that are honest and open to him, that connect with him in a real way. And he knows all of us are weak. He knows we all got struggles. He sees our mess, and he's okay with it. He's going to take us right where we're at, and little by little, he'll chisel away all the stuff that he's like, hey, and he kind of redefines you and reshapes you into a whole new person. And it takes God. So, all right, guys. Well, hey, I guess we're ending on a God note right there. So thank you, Jesus. We love you, Lord. You are amazing. I had a really good day today, too. I'm not even telling you some of the personal stuff that happened today, but God has just even blessed me and my wife today with some other stuff outside of moto. And we're just grateful. God is faithful. He is so faithful. And he likes to show up at the last minute. He likes to, because just to give you a sneak little testimony of what happened, you ever just get to the point where you're like, man, I'm just throwing in the towel. I was like, man, I've been trying for 2 years. I'm throwing in the towel. I've had it. And then God showed up and blessed me with exactly what I've been praying about, waiting for 2 years. So here's the deal. Don't get discouraged. Don't stop praying. Keep believing. Keep moving forward. Keep your head up. God sees you and knows your whole story, and he comes through at the last minute every time. I got testimony after testimony. That's why I'm a believer today. If God hasn't showed up in the last 10 years of my life, I wouldn't be a believer. I already went back to the world. What I've been doing, I probably won't be married to Mel. I'll probably be chasing girls around California, living a whole crazy lifestyle like I used to be, but I'm not. I'm more of a believer. I have a stronger faith now than I ever have because God has always showed up and shown me that he sees me, he's real, he hears me, and he hears you too. So don't turn your back on God. Keep the faith. Keep hanging in there. Ride safe. Stay blessed. Have an awesome week. Welcome back, man. We're going to be back here every week, Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We love you guys. Super stoked. I got one more question. Don't want to ever leave anybody out. We got Wild Drifts. Have you ever lost your faith? Here, we're just talking about it. Dude, I was just kind of getting after that. Here's the deal. The devil's trying to take us down at the end of the day. And then our own weakness. We can't blame everything on the devil, but our own weakness. Yes, I've had times where I felt weak always as a Christian. Felt like falling back. Felt like a failure. Like, man, feel like, here I am 10 years later. Been a believer 10 years plus, and I'm still weak. Like, God, like, Wayne, you think I should just be, super Christian by now? No, I'm still weak. I'm still struggling like everybody else in the world. Why? Because we're just human, man. At the end of the day, we're human, and God knows that. And he still loves us. That's what's funny. Like, I'm like, God, you still love me and all my junk. Yes. Here's the deal. I don't have kids, but I have a good dad, and I know my dad's always loved me through everything. So I'm like, but I have a dog. And my dog isn't always good. My dog does jacked up stuff sometimes, but I still love that dog so much. Even when she's chewing stuff and doing stuff she shouldn't, I still love her. I know that's probably a bad example, but that's the only kid I got. And God looks it up as his kids. And even though we're jacked up, God still loves us. And I'm like, he still chooses us. That's what blows me away about God. I'm like, you still want us and you still want to use us. That's what's crazy. So yes, I've felt weak at times, but I've had too much happen through the years to like completely turn my back on my faith and say, God, I'm just going to walk away. God's not real. No way. I can't. I've gone too far and seen too much, experienced God in such a real way that I'm like, I ain't going back. I know you're real. I may need some help still, but I'm still going to the end. No. So just stay at it, dude. He says, every other question it all together. That's the devil, dude. Think about when Satan will always try to question your faith to where like is God real? God has got it. Like that's just how he does. Think about when he attacked Jesus. Like when he attacked Jesus, what did he say? If you're the son, like he's questioning who Jesus was. If you're the son of God, do this. If you're the son of God, do that. He's questioning who Jesus was. And that's to God. Like, you think he ain't going to try to get in our mind and question us about certain things and get us to doubt who God is? He tried to doubt Jesus, who he was. He's definitely going to try to get in our mind and get us to question who Jesus is or who God is and what God thinks about us and in our life. And it's just a battle. Here's the deal. This is what I learned through the years. The only way to stay strong in the Christian faith is this right here, dude. It's right on my thing right here. This right here is the sword of the Spirit. This is how you fight as a Christian. If you put this down, this is your weapon. You're putting down your sword. You're in this battle not only with Satan and all his principalities, you're in a battle with yourself. We're weak people. You put this down, you got nothing to fight with, and you get weak and you get beat up. Pick this up on a daily basis and read it and talk to God, worship God. Watch how God miraculously gives you strength in every situation and keeps you from turning back. Like he'll keep you moving forward. It's what God does, dude. And that's the only reason I made it. And I've had times when that's been hard to read and I put it down and I always get beat up in those seasons. I get beat up. Satan kicks me around. I feel like I'm falling back. I feel like I'm turning into the old Feist again. And then I go, man, what the heck am I doing? And I get back in that thing and I start just daily reading a little bit. Just take those baby steps, little bit. Next thing I know, I get my strength back. And then all of a sudden I'm like feeling good again. So it's a battle, dude. Keep your sword up. Bless up. God's got you, man. All right. Much love and stay safe, stay blessed, ride safe. If you're riding, if you're not in a cold state, because we're freezing our butts off here. And we'll see you next week. We'll talk about Oakland and anything else. And hey, love talking about the face. So thank you guys for diving in. Peace out. Much love.